Chumash and Rashi, Torah portion. We are in the third reading of Hazinu, the song that has everything there that you ever wanted to know. All of history. That's a different story, not for now. Story with the Ramban, Nachmanides, and his student, Avner. But that's a story for another time. Let's go right into it. Torah portion. We are in the fifth book Deuteronomy, Devarim, chapter 32, verse number 13. Remember that when I translate, I'm translating it literally as opposed to structurally properly, right? So that way you can pick up on the words, what the words actually mean. So V'yarkivehu, and he made him or them. It's a difference of opinions in two different books here. I don't see how it's not they, but some it says him. So he, referring to God, would make them ride. Yarkiveo, rechav, is a car, right? That's what you ride with, right? Right, rechav meaning to ride like on a horse, right? So you would make them ride, right? B'mosei, on the heights, like a bima. A bima is a platform, meaning on the heights, stage. Right? Yeah. Well, it doesn't mean stage here. It means heights, right? Aretz, of the earth. V'yoichal, and he would eat tvunos. That tvunos is the ripe fruits, sadai, of my field. V'yanikehu, and he would suckle dvash, honey, misela, from a stone. V'shemen, and oil, michalamish tzur, from a hardened rock or a flint stone. You know, remember the Flintstones? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Are we ready for Rashi? Because remember that this parsha, all of it's poetic. So it's speaking about something that's, metaphorically. So we have to understand that, right? We have to.
Amen.
Amen.
I have to David's coffee. Hi.
It's good today.
Next to Chumash and Rashi, it keeps you awake.
For about 10 minutes, and then you have me another one.
Yeah, that's why if you have Chumash and Rashi and Tanya and so on, you're awake all the time. Okay, verse number 13 in Rashi, and we would have him ride on the highs. Kola Mikra, this entire verse should be understood. Kitarguma kontra Unkelis. The way Unkelis translates it, this is the way it should be understood. Yesterday, if you remember, he said not like Unkelis, the way he understood, but today he says, no, the simple meaning is according to the way Unkelis translates it into Aramaic. What does that mean? The heights of the earth. Al Shem Eretz Yisrael, because the land of Israel, Gavoya Mikol Arotzis, is the highest of all lands. Right? It's the highest of all lands, and that's what it means. It makes you ride, that God is making you ride on the high land of Israel. Yechal tenuvais sadai, that we eat the ripe fruits of the field, of my field, actually. Ela Peres Eretz Israel, this is the fruits of the land of Israel. Shekolim lonuv v'lizbashel, that they are quick to develop and to ripen. Mikol Peres Haratzos, from all fruits of other lands. Right. What does it mean? What does it mean? In other words, it's conveying over here a blessing of the land, right, as opposed to just telling us a fact of the land. That this is the blessing of the land. midvash misela, and he would suckle him with honey from a stone. There was once an incident, a story that happened with someone. Shamar Libnai, that he said to his son, "Besichni in Sichni, havili kitziyais min hachavis. Bring me cut figs from the barrel." He went and found honey of figs flowing over its mouth. Amar loy. So the son said to him, Zu shel dvashi. This barrel of honey is of honey, not of cut figs. Right? He told him to get cut figs. He came and it was overflowing with honey. The barrel. Right? So he told his father, no, it's not. It's not a figs. It's honey. So his father said to him, sink your hand into it, and you'll bring out cut figs from within it. Wow, why is Rashi telling this story over here? I guess because this is giving us the idea that we're speaking about figs and that they are so fresh that they ooze out honey. And that's what it means, the land of milk and honey, right? That's what it means to take out to suckle honey from a stone. No, actually it doesn't. It does not imply that at all. That's not what the words say at all, but that's what the meaning of it is, right? The word dvash is honey. Dash is honey, right? The novelty over here is that, right, because that we already learned previously. When we say Eretz Dvash, Holav Dvash, it's a land flowing of milk and honey. So we understand that because why? Israel is blessed with 7 different fruits, different or not, 2 of them are not fruits, wheat and barley, right? Right, species, exactly. And so they're blessed with that. So we know that they're blessed with that. So when it says that the land is flowing of milk and honey, it's in reference to the honey is of the figs and the milk is of the dates, right? Also flowing. Not literally milk, flowing like milk. Right? So that's how Rashi is bringing it together. But the words themselves don't say that. In the context of what we've learned previously, what Rashi has taught us, that's how we know. So be very careful to say, oh, the word dvash does not mean figs. Not at all. Okay? That's why, without the oral Torah, right? We don't understand anything what's going on over here, right? The oral Torah, and that's what Rashi is coming to tell us on the simple level what it means. Okay. Now, next Rashi, the shemen michal mishsur, oil from a hardness of the rock, right? Eluz hesim shel gush chalav. These are the olives of gush chalav. So it's interesting. Gush
Chalav is it's the area before Tzfat.
Yeah, it's up north,
On the
right?
on the lower Galilee in Israel.
You know why the miracle of Hanukkah took 8 days, right? Because they had to go up north to get more olive oil to squeeze oil from it. So it took it was a 3-day journey there. A 3-day journey, make it 3-day journey back. So you have 7 days, and then you have they had enough for 1 day. That's how you get 8 days, right? That's where the olive groves were very special up there, up north. Exactly.
I was positioned there in the
To
army
produce the
for a
oil.
while.
No.
The oil.
I was positioned there in the army for a while.
Mm.
It's Mahon. It's where the Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai.
Yeah. There's a whole area over there, right?
Yeah.
Whole
A
area.
lot of olives.
Yeah.
Trees.
Okay. Now, so that's the olives that we're speaking about, right?
Mhm.
That's interesting, called chalav, which means milk. The gush of chalav, right? Okay, Rashi continues now. He's actually going back now on the verse. B'mosei aretz. Rashi is a lashon gavoya. It means heights. Sadai, lashon sada. It means a field. Like, what else did he think it meant?
Well, you didn't read the Chumash.
I did, yeah. No, we're continuing in the Rashi. We didn't finish Rashi. He's now going back on the first words and to translate them.
We're in 13.
So Rashi is actually, I translated my field. Rashi is saying it means field. It doesn't mean my field. The Yud, sometimes interchangeable with other letters. Interesting. That's what Ibn Ezra says and others. Okay. Chalamish Tzur, a hardened rock. Takfu v'chazku shel sela. This is the firmest and strongest part of the stone. Kishe'enu dabek l'teiva shel achrav nakud chalamish. When it's not connected in a construct form, meaning with a connected to the next word, then it's pronounced chalamish. Kishu dabek, but when it is connected, it's not good chalmish. As in our verse over here, it's chalmish. Chalmish tzur. In other words, it's a hardened part of the rock. Of, like the tough at the end would be, well, it's not that it would make it of here because of the way it's vowelized. So that's what it means.
Flint.
Okay, next verse 14. Pema bakar, cream of cattle, the chalev tzain, and chalev milk of the flock, im chalev karim, with the fats of the karim. Here it says sheep, but word karim is not usually sheep, but that's how he translated here. How's he translated over here? Fat lambs, okay. Bnei Bashan, the sons of Bashan, Atudim, which is he-goats, im chalev kaloyes, with the fats of the kidneys, chita of wheat, vidam einov, and the blood of grapes, anavim, right, is grapes, einav is grapes, tishte chamed, you will drink it, chamed, like a delicious flavor. Blood of grape, strong. Okay, here it says strong. Okay, let's see Rashi. You need Rashi for this, boy. Okay. Rashi in 14. Emas bakar v'chalev tzayin, cream of cattle and milk of flock. Zeh haya b'mei shleima. This was in the days of King Solomon. Remember, we said this is all a metaphor, right? And much of it is speaking about future events, like we had yesterday, and now this is a future event. I said at the beginning of the class, I don't remember where it states this, but in this parsha, we have all of history hinted to in some manner or not. As I told you the story with Nachmanides, I didn't tell you the story, but there's a story, such a story with Nachmanides. But in any case, if we have time, we can tell the story. Shenemar, as it says, how do we know that this is a hinted meaning of the days of Solomon? Asara Bokar Abrim, 10 fattened cattle, Asara Bokar Rei, and 20, Esrim Bokar Rei, and 20 cattle left to graze, Meyatzoin, and 100 of the flock, meaning people were so wealthy then in the times of King Solomon. That was, it says that was the time that the Jewish people were at, the greatest heights. The whole world was coming to King Solomon because of his greatness and the power that he yielded. So everybody had 10 fat cattle. Everybody had 20 cattle left to graze and 100 flock. Right? That's what the verse is hinting to, the wealth that everybody had at that time. Im chalev karim, with the fat of fattened sheep. This was in the days of the 10 tribes. Shenemar says that who eat fattened sheep of the flock. With the fat kidneys of wheat. This is also in the days of King Solomon. Shenemar says, as it says, the bread of Solomon was 30 core of sifted flour and 60 core of unsifted flour. In other words, again, the wealth that there was at the time. Vadam einav tishteh chamed, and you would drink the blood of grapes with delicious flavor. B'meyaser. So Shvatim, this is again the 10. This is the days of 10 tribes. Right, 10 tribes are the northern kingdom, right? Who would drink wine out of bowls. In other words, they didn't drink it out of a cup that was a small cup. They drank it out of bowls. They had so much of it. They drink something, right? Yeah, Chema Boker. Yeah, they had some Fabringans back in the day. At least the Farbison was, and the L'chaim was. Chemas Boker, cream of cattle. Hu Shuman, that's fat. Haniklat me al gabi achalav, that is skimmed from the top of the milk. Achalev tzoin. Now, so what's Rashi doing now? He's going back on the verse, right? And now, first it was explaining it the way it was, hinting historically, right? What it's hinting historically. Now he's explaining what the words mean, which is interesting. I would think he would do first the meaning of the word, and then what it's hinting to historically, because, give the simple meaning of the words. But he's doing the opposite. Yeah. Okay. Continuing Rashi. The milk of flock. What does that mean? Cholav shel tzayin means the milk of flock. Ishu davuk. When the word cholav is a construct form, means nakud chalev. It'd be vowels chalev. Like in its mother's milk. Right, when it's a construct form, that's the way it would be. Here, it's not construct form. Meaning, construct means it's something of something else, right? It's connected to the next word. But here it's chalev. That's so means it's connected. Means the milk of something. Here means the milk of flock.
Okay.
Okay, karim, kvasim, sheep. Okay, elim, rams, much more as it's understood. Bnei Bashan, the children of Bashan, Shmenim Hayu, they were fat. Because they had excellent pasture land for grazing sheep. Kaloyas chita, kidneys of wheat, chitim shmenim, means kernels of wheat that are fat. Kechel of kaloyas, like the fat of the kidney. Negasim kulya, like the thick of the kidney. Dam einav, the blood of grapes. Tia sheitze yain toiv, you drink good wine. V'toyim yain choshuv, and taste fine wine. Chamar yayin b'loshen rami. The word chamar is an Aramaic term, means wine. Chamar ein zeh shem davar. The word chamar over here is not a noun. Ella loshen meshubach v'tam. It means an excellent of flavor. Like chamar Medina, right? Chamar Medina means a strong drink of the nation, of the region, of the people, right? Of that what they drink, like beer, would be an example of that, right? That it's an Aramaic term. That's what he's saying. And in Old French, vinos. Oh, we got the old gold vinos over here. Okay, well, it's possible to explain these two verses, Acher Targum Shel Onkelis, following Targum's translation. Ashvinu Dal Tikre Ara, he settled them in the strongholds of the land. Well, this is interesting. So Rashi is saying we could explain it also according to Onkelis, and he explains it completely different. Rashi is explaining it as hinting to future historical events. Onkelos actually translates it, and he doesn't explain it here. Rashi just says you could explain it differently, that it's speaking of spoils of war, riches from nobles and lords, and the blood of war is spilled like water against the enemy. Interesting. So in the first one, he took like Onkelos. In this one, he doesn't take like Onkelos. But he says you could translate like Onkelos, and it doesn't mean something in the future. Well, it means in the future, but not in those particular time periods. But spoils of war and spilling blood of the enemy type. Yeah. All right. Okay. Verse number 15.
It starts with 15. It starts with 15. You say?
When we just no, that was four. That was.
In 15, it says Yeshua and Yeshua. Why does he?
Well, we're just going there now. We're just doing this pasuk now. We're just starting it now.
15.
Yeah. V'yishman Yishuran. V'yishman, the word shaman means fat, and Yeshurun means Yeshurun became fat. V'ibat and kicked. We'll see. Yeshurun refers to the Jewish people. Okay. But just to give you context, right? And he kicked. Shamanta avisa, you became fat and you became thick. Kasisa, and you became corpulent. Also another word for fat. V'yitaish, and you deserted. Elaka, God. Asahu, the one who made you. God, who is your maker. V'yinabel, and you degraded Sur, the rock, Yeshuasai, of his salvation. Whoa. So here the verse, right, was saying how we had everything. We have everything, right? And what happened? With the wealth and everything, we became full of ourselves. Rashi so he says, Avisa is Lashon Avi, means thickness. Kasisa, Kamoi Kasisa, it means you covered, right? Kisisa means Lashon Kisa Pana Bechelboy. It covered his face with fat. Ka'adam, like a person, Shishamim the Mifnim, that he's fat on the inside, and his flanks are folded over on the outside. Similarly, it says, V'yas Pima al Kasev, that he formed a mouth over a flank. Just showing the idea of that we became,
Decadent.
Yeah, decadent. Who Kasisa, again he's bringing this word, right? Literally means he covered. Yesh lashon kal belashon kiswi. The word can be related to covering, as we just said. Kamoi kaisek hiloyin orim. Like he who disgraces is covered is clever. Vim kasa kasisa, and if it would have written kasisa dogush with a dot in it, haya nishma would be implied. Kasisa sachirim, that you're covering others. Kamoi is kisa ponav, like he covered his face. Okay, but it's not what. Okay, minablo tzur, you shall say, and he degraded the rock of his salvation. You know who he demeaned him and disgraced him. Kamoi shenemar, as it says, achareihem El Heichal Hashem, their backs face the temple of Hashem. Ein Lacha Nibul Gadol Mizeh, you don't have anything more degrading than this. Talking about the Jewish people, no, it's talking about the Jewish people that they're going to have plenty, and they're going to kick the bucket, meaning they're going to God, who is their rock of salvation, right? They're going to go against God.
Is that destruction, leads to destruction of the temple?
Yeah, but that's not what the verse is saying. Let's just learn the verse and not go elsewhere. Let the Torah teach us rather than we're trying to take it somewhere. Okay.
My 5-year-old would like to know why God refers to the Jewish people as Yeshurun, and Rashi doesn't say anything.
Excellent question. You hear the question? Why doesn't Rashi explain the word Yeshurun refers to the Jewish people? So we have to look it up. I don't remember where. I think that there is another place where it uses Yeshurun previously. So okay, so that means we know. That means we should know it already. And the fact that we don't is, because we're we're not 5 yet. But anyway, that's a good question, and we need to let's see if there's an answer to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's the first mentioned earlier, maybe it's not mentioned after, but if it's already.
Okay, let's continue. Okay, I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry, I don't have time because we've Vayiknuhu 16 Vayakniuhu, and they would provoke anger, bizarim, with a fury, Evas, with an abomination, Yachisuhu, they would anger him. Rashi biknuhu hevitu chamasei al vikinasei. They made God full of wrath and full of fury. Because others with abomination, kemaise to evim, like abominable last, God mishkav zachar, like acts of homosexuality, ukshafim and witchcraft. Shenemar by him, it says to Eva, because the term to Eva, an abomination, is used with those actions. 17. Yizbechu l'shedim, they would slaughter for demons. Lo elikim, without elikim means a god of power, because elikim means power, right? It means a god without power. Lo yadum, of which they knew nothing of. Chadashim mikarev, chadashim, newcomers, mikarev, that are recently arrived, ba'u, they came. Lo yisa'arum avayisam, and whom their ancestors did not have sa'arum, did not have fear of. Rashi in 17, loy elaka, without power, right? It should be understood, kitarguma kontu onkelis, the lays by him tzuruf, that they have no usefulness. They're not useful. And they have no power, therefore they're not useful. Ilo haya by him tzuruf, had they had usefulness, loy haysa kina kifula, it wouldn't be a redoubled fury like now. In other words, like you're going after something that in the end has no usefulness for it, but yet you're leaving God and going after it. Like Chadashim Ikarev Bo, so that's a double, like God's doubly upset. Chadashim Ikarev Bo, newcomers recently arrived. Afilo ha'umais, even the other nations, they were not used to them. Goyshaya would see them. Hayayim would say, this is a Jewish idol. Whoa.
They invented their own idols, the Jews.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Huh? The statement. Yeah, it's a statement. Yeah. It's a statement.
The new one.
In other words, like the Jew, all of a sudden, like he brought new idols to the fore that even the non-Jew didn't know about.
They invented their own.
Wow. What does that mean? Lo yarim mehem. Your answer is not fear them, these powerless gods. Lo amdas arasam nipneihem. Their hair did not stand. The word sa'arum, it means sar, means hair, right? When your hair stands on end because of fear. The way of a person's hair, lama to stand, machmas because of fear. Kach nidrish with sifri, that's how it's interpreted in the sifri. And you could further explain sa'arum lashon se'irim yirakum sham. It's referring to the words that se'irim means will dance them. Se'irim heim shadim means se'irim means demons who are dancing. Your ancestors did not make these demons, and they did not defy. They did not make these demons. Did not deify them. Right, that's what it means. It didn't deify them.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, verse 18. Sur, that's the rock, right? Excuse me. Yeladidcha, that gave birth to you. Teshi, Teshi, you ignored. Vetishkach, you forgot. Kael, a god, forgot the rock who gave birth to you, right? You ignored. Tishkach Kael, sorry, you forgot God. Mechaylecha, who brought you forth. Rashi in 18, Teshi, Shechachta, you forgot. So he's translating it the same word as the next word is that you forgot. Rabbi Seina Darshu, the rabbis, the sages expounded upon it. Kishabo lahetiv lachem, when God came to do good for you, atem achisim lefanov, you angered him, matishim keicha, and you weakened God's strength.
No,
Milahetiv lachem, in order to be able to do good for you. Right.
that's amazing.
Al Kael Mechalalecha, God who brought you forth, Ma'itzicha Merechem, He brought you forth from the womb. Lashon Chelal Ayolos, it relates to causes the hinds to give birth, the hinds to give birth. Leda, the pains of labor, like a woman in childbirth. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Your timing is great.
Yeah. Okay.